Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerd Out's Newsstand, and I want to talk about something we've covered quite a bit on this channel. And I want to make sure I do a dedicated video to it because there's a lot of confusion as to what is all around Substack, what we can expect from creators on Substack, and if this is going to shake up the industry or not. And I hope it does. I don't know that it will because I don't know in the long run if this is a viable platform for creators to use. But I do think there is a lot of good things it could do, and it could bring the creators of these comics closer in a way to their fans. That is if the audience follows them. So I want to talk all about Substack. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. As always, hit like. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of Substack as a platform. Now, if you don't know anything about it, basically Substack is a subscription-based platform that is a publishing platform, right? Right now, they have about 500,000 people on there, and that's not a lot. That's really not a lot. That number kind of makes me worry just a little bit. But even so, it is going to hopefully shake up things. And what you do is your favorite creator can go there and create a newsletter and not monetize it. And that's fine. It will be sent out to everybody that signs up for said newsletter, or they can monetize it and get exclusive offers like we talked with James Tynion. And you get a monthly service, basically $5 to $7, $8 a month for each creator. You got to keep in mind it's each creator. And you actually get, specific rewards. It's very similar, almost uniquely similar to Patreon for content creation. It is down to a T what you would expect from Patreon, but just think of it for comic book writers, right? So initially we did see Nick Spencer go there. He kind of started this whole domino effect of creators. Then we seen James Tynion. He actually quits Batman in November, Joker in April, and he is going to head to this platform already there. And it's $7 a month, I believe, or $75 a year. So there's a little bit of a discount, not much. He is creating comics on there. Now, one big question I have is the delay issue, because of course, with anything, you can expect delays. You can expect to not be able to get out exactly what these people wanted to get out right on time. And with James Tynion, he is bringing in Michael Oeming. I apologize for that butchering of a last name, but he is going to be doing the art. And I'm actually more interested in the story. I don't care for this type of art, but that is just me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to read it, but I also want something just as a consumer, maybe set up to say that the reason why this is digital and then, it's going to eventually go into print, they're going to collect in trades. I do think they probably have something set up, but I do think it is going to be hard for comic book customers, because generally people love physical copies. I've been all for digital for years, and I get a lot of blowback for that. People love digital only really when it comes to maybe manga, but not so much comics. And I think there has to be a happy medium. And they also love it on webtoons, which I think is a lot of the reason for my video earlier. But then we had Chip Zdarsky come over, right? Chip Zdarsky is heading over to Substack, and I actually quite enjoy Chip Zdarsky. He is doing something called Public Domain. It looks, I love James Tynion, but this one definitely looks the most interesting in my eyes. And it looks cool, right? So then we had Saladin Ahmed also coming over to, and he's bringing Molly Ostertag. Now, Scott Snyder, he will be actually offering classes online for, again, $7 a month. And it's one class a month. You basically get a little bit into, comic book introduction and then dialogue. And then he uses things like the Court of Owls. He has a whole syllabus out there. So then, of course, there's always Scotty Young. He is also going to be on there. Today, got the announcement of Jonathan Hickman is leaving the X-Men and he is going over there. And then finally, Ryan Stegman and Donnie Cates. This is a lot of people. And I want you to keep that in mind when you think about what Substack is, because a lot of these people are still going to buy their comics. They're still going to want to read Spider-Man. They're still going to want to read Batman. So how far or what will they take away, if need be, to support those people? And I think that price point is going to be detrimental in this one way or the other. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be detrimental to Substack. It could be to DC Comics or Marvel Comics. So it just depends. If you were to support every single one of these people that I've mentioned, it would be over $60 a month, plus your initial, whatever your pull list is. So I think it would end up being quite a bit. And this is only the beginning. Let me be clear. This is only the beginning. So will the audience follow is going to decide whether or not Substack is actually viable. Because if the audience is reading, we'll use Tinian as an example. If your audience is reading Batman because they love Batman, it's unlikely they'll follow. Now, if your audience is reading Department of Truth or Batman or Something is Killing the Children because they love your work and have grown to really enjoy it, then it's likely most of your audience will follow. I don't think, obviously, all of it. I would say, like with anything else, it's usually like 25% or something. I will tell you, I'm not going to support every person on here. I'm absolutely not. I am going to support Tinian. I don't know about, I think I am with Zdarsky also. And then the Scott Snyder classes because it will come in useful with writing comics. But you have to know if that audience will follow and if you are popular enough in a way to bring it also. A huge deal that I think Tinian is doing that is going to be detrimental to him alone is the fact that he said he was going to eventually pull out of social media. Now, he did say he was going to use, I think, his one for just, like a typical person's Twitter account, his James IV, and then eventually close that down. And then he said he was going to use his other ones to just post when updates were available on the website. You cannot do that. Because when going to Substack, even though, and I completely agree with leaving Twitter. I want to be clear about that. But when you go to a company like DC or Marvel, the the marketing is done for you. Of course, you on your social media will probably, tweet out or put a post on Instagram when one of your new books comes up. It's just normal. But when it comes to real, like, you saw the Future State trailer. You see this stuff on your, targeted ads, whether you're on a different website. A lot of the times, 90% of the marketing is done for you. Now he's gone to 0% of the marketing done for him and expects to be able to leave social media. And that's going to cause a huge, huge problem. He has to go to bat for himself now, instead of having somebody to do that for him. So I don't think there's any possible way. And I don't even know that Jonathan Hickman has social media. I could be wrong on that. But there's absolutely no possible way to leave that social media, right? That's mandatory in that. Without marketing, you will not gain new people because this is digital and it's only on one platform. So maybe a little bit of word of mouth, but that even is very slim. So another thing I noticed about this that hopefully follows suit, but I'm not really sure has yet, is they have only targeted, for the most part, besides like Stegman and maybe Molly Ostertag and stuff, they've really, really targeted only writers. And I understand that Substack initially was a lot of people journalists, right? But the problem is you can't have a wake up in this industry with only writers. You need artists. You need a good balance. So unless they are expecting these writers to bring their own artist in, which could very well be the case, that won't work, right? So as far as shakeups at the big two, I think that's what everyone is a little bit hoping for. I think everybody hopes that this will make DC and Marvel, and heavier on the Marvel side because they don't do near as good with pay or royalties or anything, but DC is just as much in that bag. Hoping that it'll wake them up and start giving their good writers, their top talents, their top tier artists better pay, better benefits, just benefits, and hopefully better royalties. Not only that, but to start going backwards a little bit, right? And I'm not saying to be regressive, but I do think at some point we need to go back to a point where you were hiring on meritocracy. Now, I'm not against 100%, not against believing that I can write a better female because I'm a female than a male can. I absolutely think there needs to be some sort of diversity in the writing room. There does. Real life experience trumps all, right? So I do think that, certain times when maybe two people are equal, and because I'm female, if I get that job, writing a female, that makes more sense in my mind. I don't know, maybe my thinking's wrong there, but generally it's pretty clear, unless I have zero talent, that I'm going to be able to write a female better. It's just easy. No one can really argue that, but hopefully this is something similar to, maybe the image revolution, but I wouldn't say that is even in the same ball field, just because we see stuff like just artists. It was Jim Lee. It was those people that were going during the image revolution. It was Rob Liefeld, right? Those were artists. They didn't include the actual writer until later on. And we see how that worked out. So if they can find a happy medium, Substack could be a viable platform. I actually went on it to sign up, and I don't have any use for it, but I do see why people like it. It looked like it was very easy to use. It looked like it was very easy to kind of check out and be able to add stuff and take stuff away. It seemed very viable as far as mechanics go, right? So hopefully we see something that actually comes out of this. And I'm going to support a couple people and give it some time, but I'm only going to support my favorite people that I learned of through the comic book industry, because I still am going to be buying my regular books. So this is a cost on top of a cost, if that makes any sense. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about Substack. If you think it's viable, if you think it's trash, if you think it's the next best thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.